Difficult, lots of good players I played with, fortunately. But I managed to narrow it down to 11 anyway.
It's not a bad side. Let's start in goal.
There can only be one, Big Nev. Fantastic goalkeeper. He used to say to us, our defenders, if they're shooting from 25, 30 yards, don't block it, because I'll save it. I get beat by deflection. In training...
Is that cockiness or stupidity?
Oh, just he's that good. In training, you do finishing exercises, and the other keepers you just have to target. When Nev came in, if you put it in the top corner, you'd still get a fingertip to tip it onto the bar, tip it round. And he improved me as a goal scorer, because playing against us, shooting against him, you had to be right in the corners. So without a shadow, he was a top goalkeeper.
So that's an easy one. How about right back?
Right back, Gary Stevens, absolute athlete, could get up and down the pitch. Great quality, could score goals, could get back and defend. So, I played with Dennis Irwin, Chris Houghton, really good top players as well. But
Dennis Irwin makes it into pretty much everyone.
Yeah, and obviously set plays and everything. He had great quality. But just over the years playing with him, he got better, and he played for England obviously, and he came out on top in the end.
Your first centre half?
Centre back would be Big Paul McGrath.
Yeah. He gets in everybody.
Yeah, he's. So people ask me what's like in training. Never saw him train. He'd go away international duty. He'd just stand on the side of the pitch, watch your training. He'd get treatment off Mick Byrne, and then he'd go and play and be the best player on the pitch. Midfield, at the back, he was just awesome. Could get forward, could score goals as well. So just we played against Russia one time, and he was just in second gear, and he was easily the best player on the pitch. So fantastic player and a great lad.
Do you think he's a freak of nature, really, to be able to do that? I mean, everywhere he's been, Villa, United, with Ireland, he never trained, but he never ever got run ragged.
If he could be any better, then I don't know how good he could be, but certainly it didn't stop him being a great player.
Exactly.
So you never know.
What was it like as a guy?
Great lads, real quiet, shy, unassuming, and just good company. So he kept himself to himself, but he was a real nice guy.
All right, and who's going alongside him?
Kevin Ratcliffe, one of my best mates in football, so he wouldn't be happy if I didn't put him in.
He's a top lad.
Top lad. Pace to burn, absolutely one of the quickest defenders around. We could play a high line, any balls got played in behind, he'd just go and sweep it up. Quite a hard character. If the striker was giving him a hard time, I'd get the shout, Sheedy roll me 50-50, which I'd do for him, and he'd sort of give the centre forward a little kick.
He played for Wales. You could have played for Wales. Was that a tough decision for you or not?
It was made for me. I was a youth player at Hereford, and I got a letter from the Irish FA to say I'd been selected for the Irish youth team. And Wales had a game at the time. My mum was staunch Welsh. I rang the Welsh FA to say I've been picked for Ireland. Am I in your squad? And I got the answer was, we're not in the business of announcing the squad before it's done officially. So I said, okay, thanks very much. Put the phone down, rang the Irish FA, and said I'd be delighted to play for you. I don't know which way I'd have gone, if I'm being honest. But
what did your mum say when you made the decision?
She was just all for me for football anyway. So she agreed with that one.
Just you.
Yes, yeah. So fortunately, it turned out to be playing the European Championships World Cup, and Wales, unfortunately, up to recently. Yeah, so yeah.
Who's your left back?
Left back, Pat Vandenhouw.
He's a tough player, wasn't
he? Competition, John Bailey was a great player at Everton as well. Great left foot, top player. But he just edged it with his defensive ability. He was right-footed as well, which meant he gave me a lot more passes than Bales with his left foot. Played for Wales as well, so he was a good player.
Were you ever getting kicked by someone and you said, Pat, can you do me a favour?
There was quite a few on the pitch that could do that anyway, quite greedy, so there was a few I could go call into.
Who's your right winger,
Kev? Trevor Stephen.
They worked together well, didn't they?
They were good, yeah. Had a great understanding. Tricky Trevor, we called him, because he could just beat people left foot, right foot, and he'd always get a...
He had that great flick it over the defender's foot. Yeah, I thought them two worked brilliant together.
Yeah. In training, Trevor, he never gave the ball away.
No.
He'd come off the pitch, he hasn't given the ball away, he was just like brilliant. And I used to get in the back post because I knew he'd beat the full-back and put the crosses in. So, as you say, real great understanding.
And in the middle?
In the middle, Paul Bracewell. Great player, signed from Stoke. Was a real worked for the team up and down, just get the ball, he'd pass it to Trevor, pass it to myself, made the game simple, but was always in the right place at the right side, you know, sort of win the ball and pass it. He unfortunately got a bad injury at the height of his career. He had to go to America to have an operation. He had a bone that they couldn't find growing up instead of growing inside. So he put about a year and a half off his career. He never came back quite the same player. But certainly in his prime, he was a top player.
You had time at Newcastle with him as well, didn't you? Did you enjoy your time at Newcastle?
It was brilliant. I signed when Keegan just took over, and my career at Everton was I was in the team, out of the team, so it gave my career a real boost. I went up there for a season and a half and playing in front of the Geordies at St James's Park was brilliant. I remember it was a relegation battle against Tranmere, and there was 10,000 people locked out, and it was so you wouldn't get that in many places, but a brilliant atmosphere to play.
Well, I think you might pick as your next, but who's your next centre midfielder? I'm going to go for Reedy.
Yes, got to be Reedy. Yeah. They worked so well together.
Yeah.
They just got up and down the pitch, and I was always when Reedy went for a tackle, he won the ball 99% of the time, so I just stepped forward and he'd pass it and I'd be beyond our defenders, so you had that confidence in him. But a real captain as well. Rats was a captain, but Reedy was a captain as well. He's led by example and a fantastic player. Yeah, great man as well.
Who's on the left? You put yourself in?
I would do, but I'd sit and watch this team. Yes, I'd go for Steve Staunton.
No, he had a left foot as well.
He had a hell of a left foot, yeah. He played left back behind me for Ireland, but certainly he played left side. I remember he played at, I was at Tranmere as assistant manager, John Aldridge. We played Crystal Palace, and the ball came right at the halfway line, and to Steve on his left foot, and me and Alder said at the same time, don't stand, because we knew exactly what he was going to do, and he just pinged it straight over the keeper into the net, sort of thing, a bit like David Beckham did years later, but no, fantastic left foot.
Yeah, that's a great midfield. Liam Brady, did you play with Liam Brady?
With Liam as well, yes.
Be close.
Liam was close, but Liam was more in the middle. He was the playmaker sort of thing, so I couldn't quite find room in there for...
You played with a lot of good centre forwards. Give us your first one.
Adrian Heath.
Inchi.
It'd be interesting. Not many people would sort of say with the strikers I played with, but he was great movement. Yeah. It just as a midfield player, the ball's coming to you, and you're looking for his movement. He'd go long to come short. He'd come short to go long, and I could just play one test football into him because I knew exactly where he was going to be. So when you got that sort of understanding with players, it makes the game really easy. So again, similar to Brace, he was flying. He was on the brink of England, and then he got a bad tackle against him, and Dennis Cruciate. And I put him out for about 9 months, and again, never really came back the same player. So both those players really were very unfortunate with injuries.
Gary Lineker hasn't made the cut for your team. We've had a lot of people on this show say he was the worst trainer that they've ever played with. He'd hide in bushes on long runs, things like that. Did you see that?
We used to call him Man Friday because you'd only see him on a Friday. So similarly, he didn't do much training. He was just always stretching off because he was explosive. He had one season with us. He scored 40 goals. He was outstanding. He'd just get the ball and he just put it over the defenders, whether it was a good ball or a bad ball. He made it into a good ball, and he was a fantastic finisher. And as I say, he only had the one season, and he moved on to Barcelona. But he was a great player.
Did you see then he was going to make it at a side like Barcelona?
Yes, because he had the finishing ability and he had the pace, and he put those two together. Then it's very difficult for defenders to stop you getting in with chances.
Back to Adrian, though, what was he like as a player, as a man rather?
Yeah, great lads. He went on to be manager. You know, great understanding of the game. But I was great mates with him. You know, had great laughs, sort of thing. You know, when you're going away with. Away on tours and on pre-season games and all that. I mean, the squad we had was fantastic, and it was the same with Ireland when he went away. The camaraderie was brilliant.
All right, last man on the team sheet.
Last man is Graham Sharp. Typical number 9, old-fashioned centre forward where you get hold of it. Could look after himself. Was great in the air and could score with his feet. So it was really easy for me. I just get half a yard and put the ball in the box, and Sharp would be on the end of it. So.
He got one of my favourite goals I've seen at Anfield. No, when he takes it and then he volleys it over. I mean, how long ago was that? 30 odd years ago. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah. Top bloke as well.
Yeah, he's a great lad. Yeah.
Who's your skipper for this side?
Skipper would be Rats. Great leader. Just great in the dressing room. All the players respected him, and if he had any problems, he'd go and speak with Howard Kendall, the manager, and everything would get sorted. So yeah.
Howard Kendall, your manager?
Indeed, yes, yeah. So as I say, he was the best manager I played for. He was great with the team, looked after the players at the right times, and just was ahead of his time. The training was always with the ball. It was never long running or anything like that. So he was just a great manager.
Kevin Sheedy, 1 to 11, everybody. Top man, Kev. And that's it.